Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here. Today we're going to do a little bit of an angry video. So this is a bit of a rant, but Todd Howard, the king of Bethesda, the guy who basically launched current day Fallout, he made Elder Scrolls, who did the absolute dumpster fire of Starfield. He just announced about 30 minutes ago that the Elder Scrolls 6 is still a long way away. It's probably not coming out until 2030. They revealed that game 7 years ago. Now, everybody is instantly annoyed because why did they bother revealing it? Why bother teasing it? This just feels like, I feel like the two things I hate the most about the current day gaming industry is how so many games launch completely busted, missing content, bad optimization, straight up just missing content all over the place, right? And the other thing is, I hate the fact that so many games now, you get a teaser trailer or a screenshot or a title card and then nothing for years and years and years. You know what they did with Fallout 4? You can hate Fallout 4 for a lot of different reasons, and I think a lot of the hate towards Fallout 4 very, very justified. Personally, I'm a big fan of it. I was then, I still am now, but I think the best thing they did about Fallout 4 is they said, hey, Fallout 4, here it is. This is the reveal. This is the gameplay, and you can buy it in 100 days. They basically said, here's the game, here's the release date simultaneously. Can you even imagine that now? Can you imagine any game just being announced with a release date? It feels increasingly rare. Let's take a look at his statements, because honestly, I am annoyed. A lot of the internet is annoyed, and this just feels like, I think this is the last Bethesda project. Let's get into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So this is a very strange statement because of also how it came out, because technically, this is a big interview he did with GQ magazine about the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, but he basically was like, look, okay, we're going to be talking about only Fallout, but you're going to ask me questions about Elder Scrolls 6. Let me start by just saying, Elder Scrolls 6 is still a long way off. I just like to announce stuff and release it. My perfect version, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, is that it's going to be a while, and then one day the game will just appear. And what are all the comments? Bro, at this rate, we're going to be playing them in the retirement home. Perfect version. Okay, buddy, Starfield wasn't perfect. Yeah, keep in mind, he talked for years about how Starfield was his magnum opus, his perfect project, and that game came out and sucked. I know a lot of Bethesda employees tried to defend Starfield to this day. Starfield sucked. I'll always die on that hill. But look at this. Even people will be like, the problem with these long dev cycles is that Elder Scrolls 6 will be just another Elder Scrolls, which are great. Elder Scrolls games are fantastic, which is acceptable when it's about 5 years between games, not 15 years. High fidelity development takes too much time. I can't help but just think about the fact that it's wild that it's been so many years, even since freaking Fallout 4. Here's a picture of me working on my on my Fallout 4 review. This was a decade ago. Oh my gosh, look how stick arms. Eat some protein, you little twig. Now, what's funny about this is that he's like, I'm preaching patience. I don't want fans to feel anxious. Why did you reveal it? I have to admit that a lot of my frustration is the fact that I hate this era of just trying to tease projects that are not in development at all. This logo was a lie. This is not a map. There was no hints. Everybody that analyzed this trailer with high hopes, I mean, it was straight up a lie. In fact, I'm going to go a step further and think that this was a specific lie. It's been a long time now since this originally happened, but keep in mind, when Bethesda got bought, they got bought in 2020 by Xbox. And part of the reason that acquisition was happening is that they were talking about Starfield and they were talking about Elder Scrolls 6. And so Xbox swooped in and they bought them for billions and billions and billions of dollars, right? And they said that a major reason they bought that is because they were afraid that Starfield was going to be the best game ever. And apparently Sony was in talks to make sure that it was an exclusive to the PS5. It is funny that they bought them and then honestly Starfield sucked. And I truly think they announced Elder Scrolls 6 straight up just to boost their stock price, essentially. I think they were just trying to up the company value. They said, if we announce Elder Scrolls 6, they'll pay us an extra couple billion just for a logo floating off in space. It's a lie. It's false advertising, except that it's not to us. They were false advertising essentially to Microsoft. I think part of my frustration is the fact that If Bethesda was churning out good games, I would be more forgiving of these big gaps between projects. If there was tinier stuff, if there was cool updates or DLC, I feel like it'd be easier to sort of say, okay, it sucks to wait, a couple of years for the next game, but 15 years between major projects, in my opinion, is unforgivable, but it's also the fact that right now, what's the major output that's coming from Bethesda? Stuff like Fallout 76 updates. This is current day Bethesda. I know they are talking about the fact that, there's a leak that they're doing a Fallout 3 remaster. Yeah, obviously, everybody's doing that. I'm glad their old games are coming back. I think the remaster they did for, what the heck was it? Elder Scrolls for Oblivion was fantastic. I guess I'm getting to a point where old school Bethesda, if you didn't grow up with Bethesda, they were the best. They literally made the genre. Like, it's truly hard to understate how groundbreaking it was. Going from original Xbox with Morrowind, which had some of the best graphics, the most customization, the biggest map, then going to Oblivion, which was so handcrafted, Oblivion being so freaking fun, so beautiful, so customizable, and then going to Skyrim on the PlayStation 4, playing Skyrim and just having my mind blasted out of my head. Like, obviously that was also on the Xbox 360 and all sorts of stuff, but playing every generation of Bethesda games that almost felt like those generational definitions. Hey, here is the game that shows how perfect this hardware can be. It's weird to think about, when's the last time you truly had your brain blown out of the back of your skull by a Bethesda game? It's probably been years and years and years. Now, I think this is sort of all on Todd Howard. Maybe I'm being too blamey here. He says he has no plans to retire soon. This is a tweet from 2024 of an interview he did with Todd Howard, and he said, Shattered Space DLC is coming in soon. A lot of people hated the Shattered Space DLC for Starfield. Look at all these Starfield updates. There is talks that right now, apparently one of the major focuses that Todd Howard has, he wants Bethesda to completely remake the entirety of Starfield. They want to basically do like the Cyberpunk. They think that, the DNA at the center of Starfield is so good, we just need to remake the gameplay. We just need to spruce it up. Man, Starfield is dead. Even when they do probably come out with that very revamped version of it and probably release it on PlayStation, I don't think anybody's coming back for new versions of Starfield. Are you kidding me? But this part, I want to stick on this. No plans to retire anytime soon. Current day, you can tell he's starting to show his age. I'm not saying that in a disrespectful fashion, but Todd Howard has been around. He has been a groundbreaking developer pushing boundaries for decades and decades and decades. I do think that he's probably getting a bit tired. And sometimes as artists get older, they lose a bit of their touch. I'm not even being mean. Obviously, I've got like big Kurt Vonnegut tattoos and stuff. I'm not going to pretend the last Kurt Vonnegut books were nearly as good as Slaughterhouse 5 or Player Piano or whatever, right? A lot of artists kind of lose their edge as they get older. I think that Todd Howard has, to a degree, possibly lost that spark, that hunger, that desperation to make the best art ever. Starfield sucked, and I do think that Starfield almost sort of reflects the complacency of current day Bethesda. When I look at Todd Howard, I just can't imagine this guy making another 15-year project after Elder Scrolls 6. I think he is planning for this to be his final game. I think his plan right now is to basically make it and then leave. And I will say that I think Bethesda is dead when Starfield is dead. At this point, Microsoft has been closing down their studios like crazy, doing massive layoffs in the tens of thousands and stuff. I do think there is a good chance that he realizes this is it. I think he's trying to finish it. He's trying to get all of his employees paid. He's trying to make sure everybody has a nest egg to retire on, and then he is going to bounce. And I feel weird that, honestly, I do think he probably thinks of this Elder Scrolls 6 as like a legal obligation, as something he just has to do contractually instead of a passion project, something he is required to do. I will truly be stunned if Elder Scrolls 6 is even halfway decent. Maybe I'm going into this too pessimistic, but at this point, my trust for Bethesda, my trust for Xbox, my trust for this industry, it's in the toilet. I don't know, man. I'm annoyed about the fact that they're even announcing a game that's coming out probably in 2030. The fact that we're about to be talking about a game that's going to be a mid-gen for PlayStation 6. Why did you reveal it before the PlayStation 5 was even out? It's manipulative at the least. How do you feel about this? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. I had to film this video twice because the first time I forgot to turn on my microphone. So guess what? I'm definitely a professional. Don't let anybody tell you I'm not a professional. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.